Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another full series Auto World video, and I've got my final two Ultra Reds that I needed for this particular set. This is 2022 Release 2, and it is a strange little release. It's a cool release. It's strange though, as far as the Ultra Reds go. So we're going to look at all the Ultra Reds, and I can tell you right away that there's more than 6. Even though this is a 6-car set, as all Auto World series are, you're going to have version A in one color, version B in another color, and then of course the Ultra Red car, which is supposed to be the same no matter whether you find it on a version A or a version B card. At least that is typical for store releases. You know, your standard releases that you would find at Walmart, you know, Target, Meijer, or wherever. You will find your Auto World locally here in the US anyway. But so we've got some definite weirdness going on here. And how should we do this? So I guess let's just start at the top. We're going to go in, actually, we're not going to go in order. What we're going to do is we'll skip this, and we'll do, no, we're not going to skip that. We're going to go that. Sorry, I got to, you know, we're thinking I'm not going to edit that out. All right, here we go. So this is the first car in the set. So it is the 2020 Shelby GT500 carbon fiber track pack, and this is version A in Grabber Lime. So these are limited edition, however, they're not numbered or anything like that, so we don't know how many of these were actually produced in each color, and we don't know how many of the reds were produced. So we're going to get into the red weirdness later, and that Corvette's one of the weird ones. But this one, I just needed to complete the set, and I now have it, so we were able to do this video. So Grabber Lime, very, very nice looking Mustang casting from Auto World. It's really well done and quite fantastic. You get an opening hood feature, as you do with all premium, or pretty much all premium Auto World. And we get detail under there for the engine. We got some nice details up front, including that snake up there. And we got some good details in the back as well. Very, very cool. And then, so that was version A. Version B, it was like one of these tricky ones where people could think it's an Ultra Red. It's Rapid Red, which is a Ford color. And yeah, so it's not the Ultra Red though. You can tell definitely right there because this one has the red rims, but that's not always the case. Auto World does switch up the chase traits from release to release. So you're not going to have two back-to-back releases with the exact same traits. So this could easily be confused for an Ultra Red if people saw it in the wild. But it isn't, obviously. It's this Rapid Red color. Very, very nice. And really, really cool. So we've got white stripes on this one as opposed to black. And that's kind of a key element here in figuring out the Ultra Red traits. But that's going to screw us up later. So, like I said, this is an interesting release. All right, so this one's kind of a standard fare. We got the version A, the version B, we got the Ultra Red. Now, this Ultra Red was found on a version B card. It appears it was also found at Hobby Lobby. I did not find it. And it's got the black stripes on the top. So that tells you right there that the Ultra Reds in this release are supposed to be version A car traits no matter what car you find it on, meaning it's not going to have white stripes on it even if it's on a B card. It's going to have the black stripes from the version A car, and that's how it should be for this whole set. But let's go ahead and open this up and let's see what the other traits are for this particular release. So red rims, red tires, Ultra Red interior as well, Ultra Red body, of course, and then, as we had already discussed, it's going to be the version A traits. So whatever trim and stuff the version A is that differentiates it from version B, aside from the normal just body color, we are going to get that. Okay, so that sets a precedent. So that's what we're supposed to see throughout this entire release, but some things happened and some weirdness happened. So this one Pretty cool looking Ultra Red, the normal standard thing. And then we have the Supra. So the Supra, there's your version A. This is in Royal Sapphire for this 1996 Toyota Supra, which is a pretty cool color, actually, for this car. Got fingerprints all over it, but it's kind of a nice, pleasing blue. It's got a little metal flake to it, and it's a pretty good looking color for this, but actually not nearly as cool as the version B. I think this one looks a lot cooler. This is this guy right here in deep jewel green pearl. And that's a beauty. Love it in that color. Looks great. All right. And then Ultra Reds. So this is where we get a little screwed up. So we got this standard stuff, right? So this is going to be your regular Ultra Red. We got red rims, red tires, red body, Ultra Red. Interior, everything's great, right? So it's exactly like it's supposed to be. I'm just looking at the plates here. No soup for you. That's awesome. And really good, cool little reference there. And then let's go ahead and open the hood, actually. Did we look under there? Whatever. Let's not get distracted by that, maybe. Can't get it open. All right. Anyway, it's irrelevant. There's an engine under there. That's great. We might open one of them in a second. But what I'm talking about is this. So we got this. There's no way to really differentiate from what I can see here between version A and version B. It really doesn't matter because this is there's no real difference besides the body color on these. That would differentiate whether it has version A or version B traits. Now, what it does have is everything else, right? So it's got the Ultra Red rims, it's got the Ultra Red tires, the Ultra Red body. Where it gets weird, though, is they were also found like this. This is also an Ultra Red. This is also from the same release. And it's exactly the same except for it's missing the red rims. It has chrome rims. So the chrome rims are from what? The version... Both versions of the car actually have chrome rims. I thought one might have had silver. But yeah, so they're both chrome. This is chrome. This is not an error per se. I would call it a variation of the Ultra Red, which should be interesting. We can look at the bottom to see the date on the bottom. 4/13/2022. 4/13/2022. So whatever the problem was, they must have caught it like mid-production or something like that and started making them. Because they make these all, I think, in the same basically week. And I think that's the date that you get on there is a date within the week. It's not necessarily they're all made on the exact same day or produced, or maybe all the bases are just stamped that day. I'm really not sure how that all works. So we know all the bases were made for this release at that point in time, at least when they printed that, because I doubt they print that on the fully assembled vehicle. But there you go, weirdness. So we've got two different Ultra Red variations for this Supra, and that is really out of the ordinary. It originally, I think, when people were finding it, they were thinking it was an error, which in a way it is. And I can't get a hood to open here at all. So we're just going to skip that. But yeah, so you got two versions of this to look out for. If you're a completionist on this casting, you got to find both actually in this release to be able to complete the set. So that's weird right there, right? And then we go back to kind of like normal for a minute here, which is going to be the square body Chevy. So here's this guy. 1987 Chevy Silverado fleet side. This is in tan and bright red, and it looks quite nice, actually. Nice version of this truck. And TK 1987. Grill looks cool. It's supposed to be like red in there. It looks a little weird, but yeah. Looking really nice. Looking like your standard square body casting. Square body that everybody loves or hates, but I love them. And really, really nice. And then we got version B, which is this thing right here in gray poly and black. So digging that too. Very nice looking release. I was going to say, is that supposed to have red in the grill? What's up with that? I don't think that's supposed to be there. I wonder if I have another version of this truck to see if that's got that. You know what I'm talking about. The red line right here. Is that supposed to be there? Somebody answer that question. It's not on this one. I guess, we'll find out, right? Because the Ultra Red has the version A traits of the vehicle. So what are we going to see, right? I'd like to quiz you before we get into it. We should see a red stripe plus Ultra Red, plus the red rims, plus the red tires, plus the red interior. Not black, right? That's what we should see. And then if that red is supposed to be there in the grill, that should be there as well. So let's check it out. And yeah, it is in there. Okay, so boom. So they did have a red, like, painted stripe in there instead of black, maybe. I don't know. Is that right? Somebody will let me know that really knows their trucks. All right, so here we go. Red rims, red tires, ultra red body, ultra red interior. Of course, we get the same, opening hood. This one also has a drop-down tailgate. I try not to drop the tailgates on these, though, because sometimes they get a little, I just did it. And sometimes they get a little loose. And you got to kind of play with them to get them to remain in the upright position. But here's your Ultra Red for that one. All right, so there's that. And next is going to be this Corvette, but we're going to skip over the Corvette now until last, because this is going to be the last little weird thing. We got probably the star of the set right here that we'll go to, and that is this guy right here, the 1976 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 50th Anniversary Edition in Starlight Black, and she is a beautiful car. Love that they did this in the black and gold. It looks absolutely fantastic. This is one of my favorite castings from Auto World. Just an amazing looking Trans Am. Just looks beautiful. Beautiful in this color combo. Unfortunately, I didn't find many of these out in the wild. And it's probably because they got picked up constantly. But hey, this is one of those releases that I said, any of them that I found in the wild, I was grabbing and hoarding. But never, I don't think maybe I found one. But yeah, I wanted to get some extras in this one because it's such a cool release. So awesome. And definitely the star of the release for me. I'm a big Firebird fan, so that was pretty cool. Version B, not quite as cool, but pretty cool nonetheless. In cameo white, bluebird on the hood, and looks pretty decent as well. So what should we see for the Ultra Red? Well, we should see, well, we got red rims, but we should see a gold bird, gold trim, all that stuff. And that's exactly what we got with the Ultra Red. So here it is in all of its Ultra Red glory. This actually has some of the gold in the rims as well, which also is a little bit weird because they were supposed to be just red. I would assume that they wouldn't have painted gold over these, but they did, and it's just a red lipped rim. So it was painted red, and then it looks like the gold was painted over the top. Pretty interesting that was done. And so that's kind of another little weird oddity about this release. Other than that, you got the Ultra Red body, your Ultra Red, whatever, wheels, tires, and an interior that is also Ultra Red. And there you go there. And I think the production date on all these is going to be that 4/13. So, do we open a hood on this? Man, I'm struggling with hoods. We're just going to forget about it. All right. Until I try again. But yeah, this is a pretty cool looking Ultra Red, actually. Very cool. I almost want to swap the tires to black just to see what it would look like, because it probably would look nice. But yeah, again, you get version A traits, and that's what we're supposed to see. All right, and then finally, before we get to the Corvette, we've got the Dodge Dart Swinger 340 Special. This is light gunmetal poly. This is absolutely an awesome version of this casting. It looks really good. I got a little circle here in the middle of the tire, rim that didn't quite line up in the middle. That's okay. But the rest of them, I think, were right on. Oh, this one's a little bit off as well. A little bit wonky. That's too bad. But really cool version of this casting. The color is really nice. The rims are really nice. Or the wheels look really good. Aside from the fact that that off-center red circles kind of bothers me a little bit. but very, very cool. And this casting's been around for quite a while. Hood opens super easy on this one, and pretty nifty. And then version B is plumb crazy, and it gets these other wheels that I don't think look as cool, but you get this one. So sometimes they will do that. They will put different wheels on version A and version B in the same release, and that's kind of a cool thing. So really neat there. So, and again, a nice release of this, but what are we going to see for the Ultra Red? So we're supposed to see the black. We'll see the black back here, right? We'll see the rims that this one has, not those. And then the Ultra Red features, the regular Ultra Red features, you know, it'll have Ultra Red rims, you know, red tires, Ultra Red body, and an Ultra Red painted interior. And that's exactly what we get with this one right here. This is a pretty good looking Ultra Red. Very cool. So you get those rims, painted Ultra Red body. God, I got fingerprints all over this release. Why does this one have so many fingerprints on it? Clean these cars up. Ultra Red interior. Just a regular metal base. And of course that version A traits. All right, and that leaves us to the Corvette. And the Corvette is, it's not an error, I don't think. Or I don't know, it's a factory mess up. We'll just call it that. This is one of the most confusing releases ever because this thing does a flip-flop dealy thingy jiggy. All right, so okay. So what do we get? What do we got? All right, here is version A. Very, very cool looking version of this 2020 Chevy Corvette in Zeus Bronze, which is just a sick color for this thing. The rims look really awesome. It looks fantastic in this color. This might be my favorite release of this Corvette by far. I just love this color. If I were to get this Corvette in real life, I would have a hard time not wanting to get it or try to get it in this bronze color. I just think it looks really, really cool. So there you go. So there's version A. Version B is this guy here, okay, in Elkhart Lake Blue with black rims and a black stripe down the center of it. Of course, these do have opening engine compartments. There you go there. All right. So version A, version B. What should the Ultra Red look like? Well, the Ultra Red should look like version A, which means it should not have a black stripe across the top. And then, of course, all of the same Ultra Red features that we've talked about throughout the whole release, which are shared by every Ultra Red except for this one. So this is on a version B card, and it is exactly how it's supposed to be. So we're going to open it. So again, version B card, mind you. And this is something that you can actually, you don't have to look for the silver rims with the Supra. You can pretty much, as far as I know, rely on this. If you find this on a version B card, okay, it's going to be correct. As in, it's going to have the version A traits, all the other regular traits of the Ultra Red. It's got rims. It's got the, you know, whatever, Ultra Red paint job, Ultra Red interior, red tires, standard base. Wow, why is that base so oxidized? That's crazy. Kind of both of these Corvettes are. That does look exceptionally pitted and weird. Doesn't that look weird? That does not look normal. But this is not a normal Auto World release. So look at that weirdness. Looks like pitted and it's got texture to it. Ugh, it's weird. Feels weird. All right, anyway, so this was found on a version B card, as I just demonstrated since we just opened it up. Now, if you find the Ultra Red in this release on a version A card, guess what you'll find? you'll find it with version B traits, the black stripe. And that's really the only difference, but and maybe you don't think that that's cool, but I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. This thing, again, like it's weird that they took the version B traits, ended up on the version A card ultra red. So like if you they'll find both of these in the same card and both of those in the same card. So weird, right? So anyway, I just thought you guys would find this interesting. This was, you know, of course I do these videos for every single Auto World release as I complete them, and this was just a strange one. Just because we had all these little oddities with this release, and then we've got 2 different Ultra Red variations for the Corvette, which really they should be matched up like this, you would think, but they're flip-flopped on the card. So this is found on version A and this is found on version B, and they have, you know, the traits, whatever. Version B was done correct, version A was not done correctly. And then you've got the Supra, and this chrome-rimmed Supra, I think has been found on both version A and version B cards. I don't think it makes a difference. And I think also that this was found on both version A and version B cards. So that kind of, I don't know, maybe they made all of these and then carded them. I have no idea. If I understood a little bit more about the production process, I might be able to better describe what may have went on for this to happen, but this is the only Auto World release that I know of that has been this kind of weird. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What you think about this weird release. Does any of you have it all? Do you have it all collected? It's an interesting release to collect, and it's definitely going to be a weird one because it's just, I know it seems like this Ultra Red's harder to find than this one, just based on eBay searches alone. I don't have any empirical data to support that. These are going to be about split even because it's going to be half the Ultra Reds usually show up on a version B, half on the version A, and these are going to be split pretty much even as to how rare they are. But you can definitely, you know, deduce that there's half of these, half of each one of these out there than there is of any other Ultra Red in the release. So it's rare, I guess, in that regard. But we don't know how many of the release was produced, so who knows, right? All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully it made sense of this. You know, hopefully it made sense. I tried. All right, so thanks again, you guys. Have a good day.